Hi, now let's work on some applications on the trade credit theory that we discussed earlier. So this is the document with chapter of 8 applications. So as I asked you for previous topics, you go ahead and work on the discussion questions as a way to review what you've learned from this chapter before moving into the problem solving part. Now let's do some applications from trade credit. So suppose you are offered this discount here. Let's work on 1A, 210 net 30. Means you are offered a 2% discount if you pay in 10 days, or otherwise if you pass the discount you have to pay the bill in full in 40 days. So let's use the formula and calculate how much is the cost of not taking the cash discount or the penalty. So we have the discount 2% over here divided by 100 minus discount 2%, so that's 98%, times 360 divided by final due date is 40 minus discount period is 10 over here. So you just plug in the numbers. Now you have to be consistent here. If you use the percentage this way, 2 and 98, use it the same way for both percentages. So 2 divided by 98 is 0.0204, so that's 2%, 2.04% times 360 divided by 30 is 12. So if you multiply these numbers in percentage, you have a cost of failing to take the cash discount is 24.48%. That's pretty high penalty. Now, if you do the same type of calculations for 30 days instead of 40 days, and you will have a much higher penalty, close to 50%. So the shorter the total time you have until you pay the bill in full, the higher the penalty. I'm gonna assume that for this one it's gonna be a lower penalty because you have 90 days to pay off everything that you owe if you don't take the cash discount. So you see, that's D, you do the calculations for D, and the penalty is 13%. So keep in mind, the longer the period, the lower the penalty. It makes sense because if you have 90 days like here to pay off the bill, then you have extra days in addition to 10, 80 days to grow your business, use the money before you have to pay it back to the suppliers. So let's work on another one. This one, cash discount decision, taking the cash discount or passing, considering also the interest rate that you have access if you decide to borrow the money from the bank. So in this application, it says that this business can borrow from the bank at 17% interest rate. Oh, this is pretty high. Probably that was 80s in the United States, double digit. Right now it's pretty low, but it's just an example. So if the interest cost of borrowing is 17%, and then you are offered a cash discount, 319 net 45, the question is, should the firm, the business, borrow the money from the bank and take the cash discount? Let's think about that before we move into formulas. On the theory side, if the penalty, the cost of not taking the cash discount we are going to calculate next, is going to be higher than the cost of borrowing at 17, then you are better off borrowing at the bank at 17 and then take the cash discount. If the cost of not taking the cash discount is less, then you can pass the discount. So let's see how it comes out to be. Maybe it's better if we see the whole problem here. Let's see. Now first we calculate the cost of not taking the cash discount. Discount is 3%. So discount 3 divided by 97, 100 minus 3, times 360, final due date is 45, minus discounted period is 19. So those are the numbers that you need here 19 discounting period and final due date, and you plug in the numbers and you do this ratio first. 3 divided by 97.0309, which is 3.09%, times 360 divided by 45 minus 19, it's going to come out to be 13.85. So the penalty of passing the discount is very high, 42%, which is much higher than the interest rate at the bank if you borrow money from the bank. So in this case, then you are better off borrowing at 17% and take this cash discount. Don't pass it because the penalty is pretty high. And this is what it says here. Then we have should borrow, the business should borrow and take the cash discount. And the next application, it's exactly the same, but different numbers here, you see, but the same idea. So I trust you can work on this one on your own, and maybe more I'm gonna assign for this topic.